friends, it's Susanna. I'm back today to share a traveler's notebook layout that I created using my Felicity Jane Autumn kit. So I'm just going to jump right in here. I started out by selecting the photo that I wanted to use, and now I'm just going through the papers trying to figure out which paper I want to use on the left side there, because I know I want to cover the full page with a paper, but I just wasn't sure which pattern I wanted to use. I ended up going with that really pretty white paper with the floral, what would you call those? Lines? Dashes? I think they're lines. They're like messy lines. And I'm just going to adhere that to the left side to cover the entire page. And I am off camera a little bit, but you're not missing anything, just me fighting with the double-sided sticky tape like I always do. And then a brief visit from Stanley, my mom's kitten. He loves when I craft because there are so many things that he is not supposed to touch, but that he gets to touch when I'm filming because he's quicker than I am. So slowly getting this stuck down. I don't know what's taking me so long, but eventually it'll get there. There we go. Okay, so I stuck that down. And then I think I'm just going to trim off the corners of it so that they're round, because I'm using a Felicity Jane Traveler's Notebook insert and the corners are round. So I just wanted to round those corners to match. Sorry for the blurriness, it'll come back in focus there. There we go. I'm not sure where I went or what's taking me so long, but there I am, cutting those, rounding those corners. Okay. Oh, I was showing my frustration for Stanley right there. Every time I would set him down, he would come back up, and I just tried to roll with it. So anyway, I'm looking for a picture to map my, paper to map my picture now. And I really love this floral paper, and I think that that's what I end up matting my photo with. I can't see again because I'm off. Oh, no. I was stealing the branding strip from the paper because it has those cute little hearts, and I knew that I wanted to put it at the bottom of the page there. So I just cut the branding strip off, just a little of it, and then I'm going to adhere that to the bottom of the page, overlapping that patterned paper a little. And like everything in this video, I seem to be taking forever to get that done, but eventually, and the worst part is this video is sped up, so you can only imagine how long it took me in real time. And then I'm just gluing down the corner of that page with the page and the branding strip with my, what am I using? I'm using my fine liner bottle. I think there's Scotch Quick Dry adhesive in there. Yes, that's what's in there. And now I am finally going to mat my photo. So I believe I'm matting it on that same black floral paper. And I just like that against the really light patterned paper that I've already put down, this black is going to pop really, really nicely. So then I'm thinking about what I want to do on the right side, and I knew I wanted to do paper overlaps. I've done this before in a traveler's notebook layout, and I really liked the way it turned out. So now I'm just trying to decide which pattern papers I want to use to do that little overlap. And I decide on that black floral for the first and largest piece of paper that I'm just going to put closest to the edge. And then overlapping that a little bit, I am going to put that really pretty, is that chevron or herringbone? I'm terrible with patterns, but I'm going to put that really pretty black and white pattern overlapping that floral just a little. And I think I rip the edge because I really like the ripped edge on papers when they're overlapping, but I can't remember now. Nope, I left it straight. So just overlapped that a little, and then I add a little bit of that same pattern to the back of my photo to bring it to the left side of the page. So now I'm just very slowly getting that all stuck down, fighting with the double-sided sticky tape. There we go. And I put the photo on crooked and I couldn't get it off without ripping it, so I just said, oh well, and I left it. Doesn't bother me. It's not that noticeable, but if that would bother you, then don't look. Look away. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you if it bothers you, but it doesn't bother me. And then I got the genius idea to use some stamps that I wanted to use in a Felicity Jane layout that I had put up right before this, and I forgot to use them. So I was like, oh, I'll use them in this, or that I filmed right before this, sorry. So then I was like, oh, I'll use them in this layout. And I don't have an acrylic block that's long enough for this really pretty polka dot, like scattered polka dot stamp. So I got the genius idea of using my hand as the acrylic block. And I probably don't need to tell you already, but it turned out terribly. So I put it on my hand here and I'm all ready to go. And then I stamp it down with pressure and it just turns out terribly, which I kind of felt like once I set it on there, it was going to turn out terribly. So I knew what to expect when I lifted my hand up. I end up covering it up with another pattern paper because I just couldn't stand looking at it. And I will be sure to get an acrylic block that fits it before I try to use it again. And I'm just trying a few different pattern papers here to see which one I like the best. And then I go with that plaid, that pink, and it's like a pink and orange and yellow plaid. It's really light, but also really fall-like, which I like. And then this is the one that I tore the end. Oh, and then I go back and tear the end of that one. I thought I tore it. Okay, so back on track here. I'm tearing the ends of the paper and then getting them all adhered and hiding that scary blob of black stays on that I just put on the page. Good as new, you can't even tell, and then I move on. So now I decide that I want to use those black and white striped buttons that are in the autumn kit. And so I just grab a few of those out and I'm going to use them in little scattered bundles. And I was fighting with the container, trying to get the lid back on because, as you can tell, I was having a day of struggles. And then also trying to figure out which colors will pop the best of those little plus signs or the X's, whatever you want to call them, that were in the die cut pack. And I knew I wanted to add this little Let's Snuggle rubber charm, and I set it there, and you'll notice that once I finish, I never actually glued it down, but after I turned the camera off, I remembered, and I did go back and glue it down, so have no fear. And then I'm just adding the stamp that says together, and then I'm adding a stamp below that that says, I believe it says, is the best place to be. And it's actually the title that I wanted to use for the layout that I filmed before this, but I had forgotten because I got caught up in the really pretty puffy alphabet that came with the kit. So I decided to use that title here because I felt like it fit perfectly. And because the stamps are a little bit offset to the left side there, I knew I wanted to add something to the right side to kind of balance it out. So I'm just trying a few different things to see what will look the best. And then now I'm going to glue down my buttons. And to do that, I add first a little piece of double-sided sticky tape, and then I add the glue to the back of that. And the reason I do that is because if I were to just add the glue, when I push it down with my hand, the glue will like ooze out the two little button holes, and I don't know, it just is not necessary. So if you put the double-sided sticky tape on there and then put the glue on top of that, when you squish it, when you push it down, no glue squishes out those little holes. And it just is an extra layer of adhesive so that your button stays on even better since they are heavy. And then I'm adding those little die cut X's or plus signs there to make little clusters, and doing the same at the top of the page. And then I decide on that little plus sign and the little floral circle for the right side of that title. And I believe that's going to finish off this layout. Oh, that's right. I add a few little hand-drawn X's and dots there just to add to those clusters. I felt like it made the clusters blend into the page a little bit more and not stand out so much. Adding a few more. And then I believe that is going to finish off this layout. Let's see. Goodness gracious, Susanna, what am I doing? Come on. Yes. Nope, the date stamp. I knew I was missing something. Okay, so then I'm just going to add the date with my size 00 date stamp right below the title, and now I'm pretty sure that finishes off the layout. Yes, here's an up close look. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more crafty videos to come. Thanks again. Bye.